So there's been this drama with a streamer, cosplayer, e-girl, whatever, named Emiru recently, and I hadn't really bothered to get into it because I don't watch her, and I don't really know anything about it aside from she said something about ice and people lost their minds over it, which isn't surprising at all. But apparently, it's not that she said anything about ice; it's that she didn't say anything at all about ice. What's more shocking, and the reason I wanted to specifically cover this isn't to latch onto the drama, because the entire reason I made this channel is due to the drama latching on to me. It's like I'm trying to swim and shit keeps sticking to me. I was just scrolling through the front page of Reddit, not even for that long, 9 hours ago, on this trash subreddit of gaming circle jerk, as any circle jerk subreddit is trash. 26,000 upvotes, 3.4 thousand comments in 9 hours. I refreshed the page a little bit later, and 1 day later, 37,000 upvotes, 4.2 thousand comments on a subreddit that exists purely as a hate group. So I decided to read it because it's just another turd sticking to me while I'm minding my own business. And what she said when asked about ice was, quote, this is a quote from this particular tweet, I suppose, so I don't know if it's actually what she said, but it says here, quote, if you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to, like, get off the internet. So that's what they said. They basically gave no comment and said that if you want someone who doesn't know anything about the subject to tell you about it, then you're too internet exposed, right? And this, oh my god, people have lost their minds about this. The first comment is a picture of Tectone, Asmongold, and whoever is in the middle. I honestly don't even know who it is, and I'm only guessing that the one on the left is Tectone. This is a comment here that says it's Tectone as well. This person doesn't know. I don't know who the chick is. You really? You don't know who the chick is? They don't know who the chick is. It's really? It's the topic of the entire thread. Anyway, they're all saying that because she's in a picture, because of the friends she keeps, they're going to tell her that she's actually all the trigger words, that she's MAGA, etc., etc. And yet, you've seen those videos, probably anyway, of people in Minneapolis walking down the street and just screaming at random people walking by, demanding them to say F ICE. They're just screaming at them like, say F ICE, say F ICE. It's a purity test for them. They're saying to shout F ICE in order to prove that you're on the right side of the war. And yet at the same time, they're claiming that saying F ICE isn't political. You can scroll down through these things and saying, what, MFW telling others that killing people is bad is political. Well, would you say that self-defense is political? Like killing someone in self-defense, is that political? One sentence is all you need on circle jerk subreddits. Just jerk the circle. I don't really want to is just too humble a response, eh? Would it be any different if she said, I don't really want to? I don't really want to give you my opinion. It wouldn't be any different. You either give the opinion that the Democrats want to hear, or the Democrats attack you. If she said, I don't really want to say, she would have been attacked, all the same. And in the same way, no less. This person here is saying any adult could say X is bad, or I like X, I don't care about X because it doesn't affect me. You don't need a political science degree to have an opinion. And then they link this picture of someone saying, hey, it's actually super easy to stream and have opinions. I'll show you. F ICE, F Donald Trump and everyone in his administration, F Elon Musk, free Palestine, US is stolen land built by stolen people, is one of those self-destructive people who think that actually black people made everything in the USA. Luigi did nothing wrong, advocating for a murderer there, whilst simultaneously condemning ICE by claiming that they are murderers. Abortion is healthcare, which is literal murder in most cases, and leave trans people TF alone. What? I mean, that's the most deranged, childish thing ever. Absolutely deranged. And this is what they think makes sense to them. They say, you say one thing, you do another thing. That's contradictory to what you've just done. You can't go out there and shout, say F ICE at people, using F ICE as a purity test, and then tell people that, well, actually saying F ICE isn't political. Well, it's not that hard to say F ICE. I think I heard Denim say that as well. Like, saying it isn't political. It is political. That's why you're saying it. You're saying it explicitly because it's political. Look at this. Privileged fence-sitting millionaire. What makes her privileged? The fact that she's a female? Well, I mean, you can't say that, right? Because you're a leftist, and leftist is explicitly female-oriented, so you can't say that's what makes her privileged. So what makes her privileged? Fence sitting million. She's a millionaire. She doesn't need to fence sit. She could say anything she wants. She could say literally anything she wants. She's not fence sitting to maintain some sort of balance between her fan base. At least she doesn't need to. And even if she did, you're just assuming that. You're just assuming that. I mean, it's the same response to all of it. They're all saying the same thing. Her fan base is largely Asmongold's because he has always rated her for years. Yeah, that's what her fan base. It's definitely not because she's an attractive young woman. That's definitely not why she has a fan base. It's purely because she's grifting off of Asmongold. It's so hard to say that it is wrong that ICE murder and kidnaps innocent people. Is it so hard to provide proof of that? No, you just follow whatever your preferred politicians tell you without any thought in your own head. Not caring about politics is privilege. Well, now we know what this privilege meant. Just not caring about politics is privilege. You have to care about politics, no matter what. You don't care about politics, but politics will care about you. I mean, it's unbelievable, these people. They act like, okay, as an American who lives in America, let me tell you, you can go outside. There's no riots. There's no ICE agents everywhere swarming around, capturing everybody who's not white. I mean, I live in Georgia. It's a very diverse place. And I go outside. Guess what? It's not a war zone. It's totally normal. Outside is totally normal. Remember, everyone, someone with no opinion always has the right-wing opinion they don't want to share. And then someone posts a screenshot of a bunch of people being mass downvoted. They're being mass downvoted because the title of this subreddit is called Gaming Circle Jerk, which means you have to say pro-democratic things or else you get downvoted, because it's a karma farm by morons. You have to have the right opinion or else you get downvoted, and the right opinion is not being right-wing. I mean, look at this OP. The OP of this is calling her a racist. And that sounds like defamation to me. Anyone want to check out OPs? Oh, look. They're a mod for Juno mains. They're a mod for an Overwatch character's specific subreddit. Well, that really tells you everything you need to know about them, doesn't it? No. I don't care about politics at all. The fact that I'm best friends with a dude who thinks ICE are the hand of God has nothing to do with my political beliefs. I promise, stop asking me about my politics, please. So you're saying that if you are friends with anyone who doesn't have the correct opinion, the left-wing opinion, then you are automatically a bad person. And this is what the Democrats always do. They always do it. I've seen a video of some white guy screaming in the face of some black ICE agent, and he kept screaming at him, saying, you're brown. When you look in the mirror, you're not white, you're brown. It's like, okay, so you're saying, right there, you are saying that it's racist. You're saying that it's a race war. That it's white people versus everybody else. Do you not realize you're a white man? A white man screaming this at a black ICE agent. You're literally making it into a race war against white people. You're a white man. What are you doing? Also, it's not a race war. It's not a race war. Only the Democrats are trying to do that. They're trying to make it into a race war. They're trying to make it into a gender war. They're trying to make it into a religion war. They're using any vector they can to garner pity. And that's what they're doing here. Not caring about human rights isn't really apolitical. It's sort of a do or don't thing. Human rights, one of their excuses, one of their countless excuses. Have you heard love is love anytime in the recent past? No one really says that anymore, do they? People just say things and then they move on to the next excuse. It's one after the other. Protect children, protect women, health care, reproductive freedom. Human rights is their new thing that they say constantly. It's so irritating. Lots of people defending Nazis here, either by inaction or action. That's another thing they like to say. You can't be silent, which Immutu was, because that makes you all the trigger words. That makes you evil. You are either a Democrat or you are evil. Anyway, I didn't want this to be an incredibly long video, but it's... can't encounter ICE if you don't go outside. You know what? I've never encountered ICE, and I've gone outside plenty. I mean... like I said, you go outside, it's not a war zone. It's just normal outside. Maybe not in Minneapolis. Maybe not in places like major cities where there's a lot of potential illegal immigrants or you know, like the weed farms out in California or something. But this isn't apolitical. Not denouncing fascists is a tacit approval. But fascism literally is political. Like, by definition. Anyway, this gaming circle jerk thread. Like, I mean, look at that. If that doesn't explain everything about this subreddit. It's just a woman scratching her nose he's like making a little bit of a frowny face, whatever. I mean, the guy's constantly having like micro seizures, so who even knows why he's doing that? And this is apparently about video games, which is why it's posted on r/gaming circle jerk. 35,000 upvotes. They think putting a Fallout UI over it somehow makes it. It's a political subreddit, and it's existed since 2011. It exists for one purpose, just like all of the many others. Even like map porn circle jerks are for some reason now hyper democratic. So much of Reddit has become a left-wing circle jerk, and I've seen a lot of people recently complaining about the government spying on Reddit, which is going to be my next video, because you don't need to spy on people who openly tell you their political agenda and openly praise people like Luigi Mangione and openly praise the assassination of people like Charlie Kirk and openly wish that the Trump shooter hadn't have missed. You don't need to spy on these people. And so, yeah, my next video is just going to be mentioning that, but I just wanted to go over this because it's crazy to me that someone not having an opinion still makes them your enemy. The left wing will always have an enemy. If they don't have an enemy, they'll just make someone their enemy. They will always make an enemy because they need to be the victim. Apolitical equal right wing, just say it and move on. There you go. You have to be a Democrat or else you deserve to... Anyway, thanks for watching.